The Galactic Council was a grand gathering of the most powerful leaders in the universe. They met in a shining, large hall that floated among the stars. Today, the council members were excited. They had heard about a ship that was found drifting in space. They gathered to discuss this mysterious vessel, but none of them expected what they would see. As the doors opened, the council members looked at the screen. A video showed the ship. It was old and battered, with peeling paint and rust covering its surface. The ship looked like it had survived many battles, but now it seemed more like a forgotten relic than a war machine. The council members couldn't help but laugh. "Look at that! It looks like it's from a museum," one member said, chuckling. "Who would even fly such a piece of junk?" Another council member joined in. "Maybe it's an ancient space museum. Should we send it an invitation to join our meetings?" The room erupted with laughter. They found it hard to believe that such an old ship could be anything special. Most of the ships in the council's fleet were sleek, fast, and equipped with advanced technology. This old ship, with its broken engines and faded colors, was a stark contrast to the beauty and power of the council's own vessels. However, one member named Tarek, who was known for his curiosity, watched the video with interest. Unlike the others, he was not laughing. Instead, he leaned closer to the screen, trying to see the details of the ship. Tarek remembered stories from long ago about powerful ships that had once ruled the stars. He thought there might be more to this old warship than met the eye. "Wait a moment!" Tarek said, raising his hand to catch the attention of the others. "Before we dismiss this ship, let's learn more about it. There might be a reason it has survived for so long." The other council members stopped laughing, and a few raised their eyebrows at Tarek's comment. They were used to quick decisions and did not like to waste time on what they thought was a lost cause. Still, Tarek's determination was contagious. Some members nodded, curious to learn more. "I'll do some research," Tarek offered, his voice filled with excitement. "I want to know its history. If this ship has any battle records or secrets, we need to find out." The council reluctantly agreed to let Tarek investigate the ship. They were still skeptical, but they respected his passion. As he began his research, he discovered that the ship was called the Resolute, and it was built by humans long ago. It had fought in many battles and was known for its bravery. The tales of its victories were legendary. As Tarek dug deeper, he found stories of how the Resolute had stood against enormous alien fleets, defending Earth and its colonies. The more he learned, the more excited he became. He shared his findings with the council, but most of them remained unconvinced. They still saw the ship as a joke. Even if it did have some victories, that was ages ago, one member scoffed. "We have the latest technology. This ship cannot compare." Tarek felt frustrated but didn't give up. He decided to present a detailed report on the ship's capabilities and past. He hoped that showing them actual evidence would change their minds. As he prepared, he imagined what it would be like if the Resolute was still as powerful as the stories claimed. Could it be the key to something greater? While Tarek worked hard on his report, the rest of the council members continued their meeting, still laughing at the thought of an ancient ship. They had no idea that their laughter would soon turn into shock and disbelief. They were unaware of the powerful legacy that the Resolute held and how this old warship would change their perceptions forever. Tarek couldn't shake off the feeling that this ship was special. If only the council could see what he saw, they might realize that in the vastness of space, sometimes the old and forgotten could still hold great power. As he finished his report, Tarek prepared for the moment when the council would finally understand the true value of an old warship that was once ridiculed. Little did they know, the Resolute was about to prove that appearances could be deceiving, and that the past still held lessons for the future. Tarek spent the next few days diving deep into the history of the Resolute. He was determined to uncover its secrets and show the Galactic Council that this old warship was more than just a laughingstock. As he gathered information, he felt a growing sense of excitement. The more he learned, the more convinced he became that this ship had a powerful legacy. Finally, the day came when Tarek was ready to present his findings to the council. He entered the grand hall, his heart racing. The members were seated, still chuckling about their previous jokes about the ship. Tarek cleared his throat and stepped forward. "Honorable members of the council," he began, "today I want to share the true story of the Resolute. This ship is not just a piece of junk. It has a rich history and has fought valiantly in many battles." The council members exchanged glances, some still skeptical. Tarek continued, projecting images of the Resolute on the large screen behind him. The images showed the ship in its glory days, powerful and unstoppable, with crew members cheering as they celebrated victories against formidable foes. This warship was built by humans over 300 years ago. It was known for its bravery in the face of overwhelming odds, Tarek explained, his voice steady. During the Great Galactic War, the Resolute stood against an entire fleet of enemy ships. It saved countless lives and defended Earth against threats that seemed unbeatable. The room fell silent. The laughter faded as the council members began to listen. Tarek pointed to a map of the battles where the Resolute had played a crucial role. In the Battle of Orion, this ship outmaneuvered ships much larger than itself. Its crew was brave and skilled, using tactics that left the enemy confused and defeated. One council member raised a hand. Curiosity piqued. But why was it abandoned? Why is it in such poor condition now? Tarek took a deep breath. After the war ended, many ships were decommissioned. As technology advanced, the Resolute was left behind. It became a relic, seen as outdated and useless. But the AI on board has been waiting, ready to awaken once again. The council members leaned forward, intrigued. Tarek pressed on. The ship's AI is designed to analyze combat scenarios and adapt its strategies. It has logged thousands of battles and learned from each one. This AI is like a living library of war tactics. The members whispered among themselves. Some were beginning to see the value of the ship, while others remained doubtful. But can this AI still function? It's been dormant for years, one member asked. Tarek smiled. Yes, I have already activated the AI. It is fully operational and ready to assist us. We can learn from its experiences, and it can guide us in battle. Imagine having access to strategies used by the best human warriors. The room buzzed with excitement as Tarek's words sank in. The council began to realize that perhaps they had underestimated the Resolute. Tarek continued. We can also restore the ship, upgrade its systems with our latest technology, and make it a part of our fleet once again. As Tarek concluded his presentation, he saw a change in the council's demeanor. The laughter had turned into thoughtful discussion. Let's not forget that this ship holds the spirit of its crew, Tarek said passionately. It has faced danger and survived. With our help, it can rise to greatness again. The council voted unanimously to send a team to inspect the Resolute. Tarek felt a rush of relief and joy. He had successfully changed their minds. The council members, once full of laughter, were now buzzing with plans to restore the warship. As Tarek left the meeting room, he felt proud. He had uncovered the secrets of the Resolute, and now it was up to them to breathe new life into this old warship. Little did they know, their decision would lead them into a battle that would change the fate of the galaxy. Tarek smiled, thinking about the crew that once manned the ship. They had shown incredible bravery, and now it was time for the Resolute to show its worth again. The secrets of the warship were just beginning to unfold, and the Galactic Council was about to witness the power of an ancient ship that had long been forgotten. As the Galactic Council made plans to restore the Resolute, a dark shadow loomed over the galaxy. Unknown to them, a powerful enemy was on the move. This enemy, known as the Vortax Empire, had been watching the Council's every move. They were ruthless and had one goal, to conquer the galaxy and eliminate any threats to their power. One day, a council member named Jara rushed into the meeting hall, her face pale with fear. "We have an urgent situation," she exclaimed. "The Vortax Empire is advancing towards the outer colonies. They are attacking and destroying everything in their path." The council members exchanged worried glances. They had heard stories about the Vortax, but they had never faced them directly. Their ships were known for their speed and deadly firepower. Jara continued, "We must act fast. If they reach the colonies, millions of lives will be lost." Tarek's heart raced. He thought about the Resolute and its AI. This might be the moment to prove its worth. He stood up and addressed the council. "We need to send a fleet to stop the Vortax. We have the Resolute, and with its AI's knowledge, we can devise a plan to counter their attacks." The council members looked at each other, uncertain. "But can an old ship really stand against the Vortax?" one member asked, still skeptical. "It's not a modern warship," Tarek responded with confidence. "The Resolute has faced many powerful enemies before. Its experience is invaluable. If we can combine its tactics with our modern ships, we might have a chance." After a long discussion, the council finally agreed. They quickly gathered a fleet of their best ships, along with the Resolute. Tarek felt a surge of hope. They had a plan, but they needed to act fast. The fleet launched into space, racing towards the outer colonies. As they traveled, Tarek spoke with the AI on the Resolute. "We need to know where the Vortex Empire will strike next. Analyze their movements and predict their attacks," he instructed. The AI responded in a calm, mechanical voice. Analyzing data, preparing tactical projections. Moments later, the AI displayed a map showing the Vortex's predicted path. "The enemy will likely attack the colony of Vela Prime first. Their fleet is larger than ours, but we can use ambush tactics to gain an advantage." Tarek shared this information with the fleet commander. "We can set up an ambush near Vela Prime. We must surprise them and strike hard before they realize we are here." The commander nodded, impressed by the plan. As they neared Vela Prime, tension filled the air. The fleet hid behind a nearby asteroid belt, waiting for the Vortex ships to arrive. Tarek's heart pounded as he watched the enemy fleet approach. The Vortex ships were sleek and menacing, armed with powerful weapons. Suddenly, the enemy ships entered the system. Tarek signaled to his fleet. "Now, engage!" The battle erupted in chaos. Lasers flashed and explosions lit up the dark void of space. Tarek was amazed by the power of the Resolute. The old warship moved with surprising agility, dodging enemy fire and returning shots with deadly accuracy. The AI was guiding Tarek, suggesting maneuvers and targeting weak points in the Vortex ships. However, the Vortex Empire was relentless. Their numbers were overwhelming, and soon Tarek saw some of their ships breaking through their lines. "We need to regroup!" he shouted, trying to keep his fleet organized. The battle was fierce, and many of their ships were damaged. Just then, Tarek noticed a group of Vortex ships flanking the Resolute. He quickly commanded, "Turn to the left! We can't let them surround us!" The crew of the Resolute responded swiftly, maneuvering the ship just in time. They blasted through the enemy formation, creating a path for their allies to escape. Despite the odds, Tarek and his team fought bravely. The battle seemed to go on forever, but Tarek felt a spark of hope. They were not just fighting an old ship, they were fighting with the spirit of its crew, the memories of past battles, and the courage of those who believed in them. But as the fight continued, Tarek realized that this was just the beginning. The Vortex were strong, and their attacks would only grow fiercer. They needed to win this battle, but Tarek knew they had to prepare for the next encounter. The danger was far from over, and they had to uncover more secrets from the Resolute if they were to survive. As the battle raged on, Tarek and his crew aboard the Resolute fought fiercely against the Vortex Empire. But they were outnumbered, and the enemy ships pressed hard. Just when it seemed they might be overwhelmed, an unexpected twist changed the tide of the battle. From the corner of his eye, Tarek spotted a flash of light in the distance. "What is that?" he wondered. The object grew larger, and he soon realized it was another ship, a large, unfamiliar vessel flying toward the fray. The crew of the Resolute was wary, unsure if this was friend or foe. "Captain, should we engage?" one of the crew members asked, gripping the controls tightly as enemy fire crackled around them. "Hold on! Let's see what happens," Tarek replied, feeling a mix of hope and fear. The ship drew closer, and Tarek noticed strange markings on its hull. It was unlike any ship he had ever seen, but it bore no weapons. Instead, it seemed to be equipped for support and repair. The new ship joined the fight, weaving in and out of the Vortex fleet, blasting enemy ships with powerful energy blasts. Tarek's heart raced. "They're helping us!" he shouted. "Who are they?" a crew member asked, still confused. "I don't know," Tarek replied, "but we can't let this chance slip away." With renewed determination, the Resolute rallied alongside the mysterious ship. The two vessels coordinated their attacks, moving with precision. The Vortex ships were taken by surprise. The combination of the Resolute's tactics and the new ship's firepower began to turn the battle in their favor. As Tarek engaged the AI for support, he sent a message to the strange ship. "What is your status?" "Who are you?" After a moment, a voice crackled over the comms. "This is Captain Lyra of the Starfire. We saw your distress signal and rushed to help. The Vortex are a threat to us all." Tarek felt a surge of relief. "Thank you! We need all the help we can get!" He quickly shared their current battle plan with Captain Lyra, and together they devised a new strategy to maximize their combined forces. The Vortex were relentless, but with the help of the Starfire, the tide turned. Together, they pushed back against the enemy fleet. Tarek felt a surge of hope as the vortex began to retreat. The two ships communicated seamlessly, coordinating their fire and using clever tactics to outmaneuver the vortex ships. During the chaos, Tarek noticed something peculiar. The Starfire seemed to have advanced technology that was different from what he was used to. He could see energy shields shimmering as they deflected incoming fire. What kind of technology is that? He wondered, fascinated. "Captain, I'm detecting new weapon signatures from the Starfire," said the AI on the Resolute. "Their weaponry is more advanced than ours." Tarek marveled at the power of the new ship. "If we survive this, we need to learn from them. Their technology could change everything." The battle continued, and it was intense. With Captain Lyra's leadership and the unexpected alliance, they pushed the vortex back further. The enemy ships began to scatter, their morale waning. Just when it seemed victory was within reach, Tarek noticed a massive vortex flagship emerging from the darkness. It was heavily armed and clearly intent on crushing their forces. "We can't let that ship escape," Tarek shouted. "If it retreats, it could regroup and come back with more forces." Captain Lyra agreed. "Let's finish this! We have to take down that flagship together." With their combined strength, the two ships charged toward the vortex flagship. Tarek and Lyra coordinated their attack perfectly. Lasers and energy blasts lit up the space around them. The flagship fired back, but the Resolute and Starfire danced around its shots, using their agility to their advantage. Finally, after a fierce battle, they managed to breach the flagship's defenses. Tarek took a deep breath as their final shot struck true, causing a massive explosion. The flagship erupted in flames and the remaining vortex ships turned and fled. Victory was theirs. As the dust settled, Tarek felt a mix of exhaustion and triumph. They had faced overwhelming odds and emerged victorious, thanks to the unexpected help of the Starfire and its brave crew. "Thank you, Captain Lyra," Tarek said, his voice filled with gratitude. "We couldn't have done this without you." Lyra smiled. "We are all in this together. The vortex are a threat to everyone in the galaxy, and we need to stand united." With newfound respect, Tarek realized that the battle had forged a strong bond between their crews. They had fought for their lives and won against a formidable enemy. But as they celebrated their victory, Tarek knew that the war was far from over. The vortex would likely return, and they had to prepare for whatever came next. After the battle against the Vortex Empire, Tarek and the crew of the Resolute felt a mix of relief and determination. They had defeated a powerful enemy, but Tarek knew the fight was not over. They needed to be ready for what might come next. The victory brought the Galactic Council together, and they called for an emergency meeting. Tarek was invited to speak about his experience and the unexpected help from Captain Lyra of the Starfire. As he entered the Grand Chamber, he saw the council members gathered, their expressions serious. "Thank you for joining us, Captain Tarek," the council leader said. "We want to hear about your encounter with the Vortex and your ship. Many of us were skeptical about the Resolute at first, but your actions have proven its value." Tarek took a deep breath, knowing this was his moment to share the truth. The Resolute is not just an old warship. It has a legacy, and it holds the stories of those who fought for their people. But what makes us strong is the spirit of its crew and the courage of humanity. The council members listened closely as Tarek shared the details of the battle. He spoke about the surprising strength of the crew, the unity they had formed with Captain Lyra and the Starfire, and the tactics they used to overcome the vortex. He could see the council members nodding in agreement, their respect for humanity growing. One council member stood up. "We have underestimated humans for far too long. Your bravery and tactics have shown us that we should not judge by appearances. We need more human warriors in our fight against the vortex." The council unanimously agreed. They decided to form a new elite force that would include humans, training them to become powerful warriors. Tarek felt a rush of pride at the thought. Humans had always been fighters, but now they would have a chance to show their strength on a larger stage. Days turned into weeks as the council prepared for the new force. Tarek was appointed as one of the commanders. His mission was to train and lead the human warriors. He gathered a diverse group of recruits from different worlds, all eager to learn and fight. Training was intense. Tarek and his team focused on strategy, combat skills, and teamwork. He believed that the spirit of the warrior was as important as physical strength. "We fight for each other and for those we love," Tarek told his recruits. Courage and unity are our greatest weapons. The recruits trained hard, pushing themselves to their limits. Some struggled at first, but they never gave up. Tarek's encouraging words motivated them. Remember, every warrior was once a beginner. Keep going! As the days passed, the human warriors became stronger. They developed their own fighting style, combining agility and strategy. They also formed bonds with their alien allies, learning from each other's strengths. The Starfire crew often joined the training sessions, sharing their advanced technology and tactics. Tarek was proud of their progress. He could see the fire in their eyes, the determination to protect their worlds and their newfound friends. As they trained, the threat of the vortex lingered in the background, but the warriors were prepared to face it. Then one fateful day, news came that the vortex were planning another attack. This time, they aimed to strike directly at the Galactic Council's headquarters. Tarek gathered his warriors and allies for a strategy meeting. "We have trained for this moment," he told them. "We must stand together and defend what we have built." The mood was tense, but Tarek's presence gave them confidence. They reviewed their tactics, focusing on teamwork and surprise. They planned to set up defenses around the Council's headquarters, using the terrain to their advantage. As the day of the attack approached, the warriors gathered, ready to protect their home. Tarek stood before them filled with pride. "Today, we fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of our galaxy. We are not alone, we stand together as one." When the Vortex ships appeared on the horizon, the human warriors took their positions. Tarek felt the adrenaline rush through him as he prepared for battle. The time for action had come. The fight was fierce. Tarek and his warriors stood strong against the Vortex, using their training and newfound skills to fight with courage. They defended their home and showed the galaxy that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. In that moment, Tarek knew that they were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for respect, unity, and a brighter future for all beings in the galaxy. The legacy of the Resolute and the human warriors would live on, and they would face any challenge that came their way.